All right, today, well, first of all, hello. Um, my name is Dawn. Um, this is the Art and Aphantasia playlist channel. It's all part of my Minnesota State grant. I'm one of the recipients of the 2025 Creative Individuals State Arts Board grants. And this is a project I've been working on for a few months now. And so I have Aphantasia, that's what the grant is all about, to bring awareness to that. And what that is the inability to get images in your head. So image-free thinking, some people call it, or a blind mind. So if I say picture an apple, most of you can picture it to some degree, whether it's a kind of a gray faded apple or a very vivid prominent apple. I don't have that ability. So for this project, what I did was a new body of work, including drawing tools without a photo reference, from off the internet or the actual object, or from my head. And so what I did is I painted tools that I was fairly familiar with, without, like I said, without those objects. And I painted them on an aluminum panel first. And then I took photographs of those and then sent those down to a place to be printed, which was White House Printing down. I think they're Eden Prairie. And then they sent me these back, and these are exactly the same size as the paintings. And then so now I am finally to the point where I have gotten these back, and so then I'm drawing on top of them with black charcoal and white charcoal. Sorry about the helicopter. It's usually never a very good sign. If it lands in the football field near my home here, that means something's bad's happened. So hopefully it will just keep passing by. But anyway, so you can probably see my, I don't know how well you can see that, but this was the plunger. Most of these objects kind of have memories to them, and not that we want to be like remembering our plunging activities, but the plunger actually came from being at Grand Old Days in St. Paul, Minnesota. My goodness. And anyway, so you had to play some game, throw a ball through a toilet, seat ring or something like that. I don't remember. And even if you missed, I think you got a plunger. They gave away thousands of them. So anyway, it's more of the memory of the day than anything. So anyway, so that was part of the reason I chose it, and then also it fit the format of these things. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drawing on the pliers, and I've had these for a long time. I'm pretty sure my dad gave them to me a long time ago, like when I first moved out of the house or something. I'm sure he had extra pairs. So these have been around for a while. And so this was kind of challenging for me to figure this out. I knew the basic concepts of how the pliers worked. That was one of my big observations for drawing these without any type of reference, was how the tool worked, and how it felt in my hand when I would hold it. That those memories are there somehow. So now what I'm doing is I'm drawing on top of them to compare them to what they really are. So for example, here it's very narrow at the very top here, so I'll mark that. And so the width is fine, I think, here. So just kind of shave that off a little bit and bring that down. a little bit more to what it's supposed to be. And then the same on, well, let's hold off on this side because one of the things is there's an overlapping here, and while I have overlapping here, there's a whole section here that I missed, and I knew that there was something in here, I just couldn't quite remember. Also, I noticed that this hole is there allowing the pliers to open and expand, you know, for adjustment. So I didn't include that either. So I'll have to make adjustments for that. But I'll start with this basic shape here. And this was part of it I couldn't quite remember either. I have the little tiny teeth in there. They're a little bit tough to tell. And I knew that these were, I'll just kind of make those like so. And then this came more like this and a little bit sharper down. And then this kind of comes out right there and down and then across. This actually kind of came more like this, and then probably comes more like this. And while these are somewhat fine here, I'm just going to change, only so that it can be seen on here. And so this was supposed to be drawn more like that. And so I'm making notes, you know. More angled. I love that red. They did such an amazing job. So this here then, and then maybe I'll fix this one. Oh, it's kind of there. And then this actually kind of went up here, and then this part here actually comes down. It's much wider across here. So, and then it narrows more like this. Just going to kind of make that here. Let's see if I can make this look a little bit more three-dimensional here. So this is a little closer, closer, Set that down for a second. Trying to hold that. I'm not sure if you can see how well you can see. I'm gonna have to switch that maybe over like this. Oh, okay, that's something I didn't notice. Is here there is a it ends, so to speak, and then there is a because this is down further. So all of this, I'm going to do that with a black charcoal here. Let's see if I can't make that a little bit darker. Somehow I need to figure out how to make that look three-dimensional there. That's 2 drops down. Okay, so now I have to readjust this. Oop. This part here. And I think it's about in the right spot as far as the horizontal here, but it needs to be moved over to the left. Size-wise, it was pretty good. All right, let's see. These, there's probably a little bit more of a kind of a sort of a curve there. And so then these kind of had it on the inside. A little bit more rounded. Not bad though. This one wasn't bad. All right. Fix that a little bit. Now this needs to be a little bit more like that. Actually, I think these handles should have been over a little bit. This one's kind of okay, so, but they're a little bit closer together, this space. So this probably should have been more like This one probably a little bit more even. All right, there we go. All right, so then just to let you know, the process of this is I took this print, I actually bought some foam core, and I used some 3M spray adhesive to spray the back of these to mount them onto these. And then I will take, and these will sit in the frames just with little Velcro dots, you know, I suppose they're about 3/4 of an inch wide, and then those will sit in the frames. All right, I'll probably spray them first though, so it doesn't smear. It's not too bad, but actually on here, it actually sits on there very nicely. I might not even. All right. Okay, until next time.